write about. Trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist. Am I worth anything or just discount? I don't know. I don't know.
That was great sounds of Watson Without Sound on WNHH LP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Preston, and my partner in crime, Long Island raised, Elm City made, EZ BlueZ. You are always better with introductions more than me. Who do we have with us on the program today?
Ladies and gentlemen, do you have a community if you don't have a community leader? Do you have a community if you do not have someone who's willing to stand up and say, not today, not in my neighborhood, and not how things are supposed to be? Do you have a community if you do not have someone who's willing to open up their heart and their soul and truly give of themselves and help build that community? Do you have a community if you do not have a Frank Brady in it? Understand how important this man truly is. He goes in front of the youth and speaks words of encouragement and enlightenment. He goes into such incredible areas like the Change in the Air Festival, and he gets to speak the truths of things that are moving forward. For that and that alone, we should thank this man. I want you to put your hands together. Not if you're driving. If you're driving, please keep your hands at 10 too, because we don't need any accidents. But mentally, put your hands together for the fantastic, the amazing, the inspirational Frank Brady in the building today. Put your hands together, Frank Brady in the building.
Wow. I need that intro. Need that intro, man. Wow. That's the intro right there.
He's really good at it.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Well, it's also a reality. One of the main things that we like to do on this show is to make people feel as comfortable as possible. And for some people, this isn't you, but for some people, this is their first interview they've ever done in their entire life. Mm-hmm. So, I want to make you guys feel as special as humanly possible, but also to understand, look, it's true. The reason why there's community out here is because there are community leaders like yourself willing to push forward. What made you say, hey, I'm a community leader and this community is important to me?
It's interesting, man. That's a great question, actually. I think what made me say I'm a community leader, the funny thing is I've never said I'm anything. I just do the work. Mm-hmm. And the titles and the acknowledgments come, right? So mm-hmm. I've just always said, I care about my community. My grandfather was very big in community when I was younger. Mm-hmm. I can remember when I was a kid, he was an elder and he was working at the senior center as an elder. Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah. I kind of grew up watching him in service.
Right.
He would volunteer working at the senior center as a senior. And I just, we and it the senior center was probably a block, if not that, half a block from the projects. So we would walk through the projects. It was just really interesting. And he was just, he was an older man in touch with the community. The local store owners of the corner stores, they knew him. Mm-hmm. He was just very, he was active enough, just outside, engaged in his community, active, was active in his church when he was older, I should say. He served everywhere. My grandmother was the same way, man. She's a former educator, former teacher. And she also was just active in giving back, right. Volunteering her time. And they both seniors by the time I'm a young boy, young and coming up. They both seniors. Mm-hmm. And they were just very active. So that in combination with me going to the Boys and Girls Club when I was younger, mm-hmm. I remember this woman, her name is Miss Fee, called her Big Fee. Mm-hmm. And she just, she kept us out the street. She kept us busy. She was just somebody older that was cool that we wanted to be around. We be playing basketball. She still be playing basketball with us. She had a jumper and everything. She had a jumper and everything. So I just thought that was cool. If I look at my origins, I just thought that was cool. So they really all different from all different perspectives. They all cared about their community. So I think that was ingrained in me and instilled in me from a very early age. And then when I came to Connecticut, and I remember this gentleman, Mr. Harris, mm-hmm. and he had this rec center in Hamden
Mm-hmm.
And we used to go play basketball there. Tom Harris, I think his name is Tom Harris, yeah. And just watching how he moved and how he allowed space for youth to just have fun, enjoy themselves. Those are my examples
Mm-hmm.
that like left a really indelible mark on me.
Right.
And as I got older, and there are others, right? There's my high school teacher, Miss Henderson. Um, there's Donald Morris to the community, Christian Community Commission.
Mm-hmm.
There's all these examples that I just saw people from different perspectives and different facets, different lenses that really cared about their community. That really empowered me and influenced me. And whatever you raised up around, you have a tendency to become and following those footsteps.
No, that is so very true. It is the examples that we see before us that help us take those steps. But you've taken steps beyond that. You've taken steps because, first of all, if anyone hasn't seen you like on, out in service and out and doing whatever, the fit is fly. Like the fit is fly. You definitely have come a long way in the fashion type of aspect of it. But I remember the trench coat days, sir. I remember the trench coat days. All right. That's all I'm saying. I remember the dreads and the trench coat. So I've been rocking with you for a hot minute. All right. So I'm just gonna be real. To see this evolution, and not only the evolution of the fashion, but the evolution of the human themselves. You go from this part where you're dealing mainly spoken word poetry, doing what's necessary to get from point A to point B, to now really having your art be the community itself around you. And that is one of the things you kind of have become, almost like the purveyor of the arts that happen in New Haven. And it's one of the reasons why you are the most requested guest on the show. Where did the jump from spoken word to action leader come from? Because a lot of people would take the opposite direction in that type of aspect of it.
Easy, man. These questions are hitting, bro. Let me tell you. These questions are hitting.
We do our
bro.
homework. We try to do our homework here.
Yeah, no, y'all have, man. You brought me back, man. Trench coat days is real, man. Trench coat and dress days is a very real statement. Trench coat and dreads, you brought me back. That was young me hustling, just going from point A to B, like you said, man. Just trying to get myself out there, as a poet, as a spoken word artist, and I think I've always been at the intersection of art and community, right? I've always been at that intersection. It's always kind of been a thing for me. I remember when I was 17 and I seen this artist, his name is Influence. He's a current New Haven Poet Laureate. And I seen him do his concert for his album Verbal Tears. And I seen, he was thorough. He was in the community, but he was also an artist, and the community came out for him. So that's one of my early, influences. And outside of that, just like I think spoken word and spoken word has always been socially conscious. It's always been about sounding the alarm. It's always, it's a kissing cousin with rap, and what I'm saying, the art of rap. And you study the art forms of early hip hop, specifically rap, the art of MCing. It was heavily socially conscious. You know what I'm saying? There's Public Enemy, Chuck D, right? Like, what I'm saying, KRS-One, what I'm saying, NWA. So me coming up with that perspective, I always made art, but always made it for like, I'm trying to get a message out.
Right.
Right. And as I was trying to get a message out, I noticed that when I started doing poetry, it wasn't as popping as it is now. It was still, you had HBO, shout out to Russell Simmons, he had the deaf poetry. Shout out to Russell Simmons, he had the youth deaf poetry movement as well, Brave New Voices. But I had noticed that there was this intersection of art's impact and its impact on the community. And I think for me watching that, I always kept community in mind, but I was also a hip hop head at the same time. You know, so as I grew as a poet,
Mm-hmm.
as a spoken word artist, I noticed that I couldn't just go into entertainment. I couldn't just like I had to evolve. And when
Mm-hmm.
you're doing poetry, your speaking skills get better. And as your speaking skills get better, your interpersonal skills grow. And then you learn how to, if you want to be a great poet or spoken word, you got to learn how to connect your content to the audience. So this is
Sure.
natural evolution over time where I just learned how to connect with people. And I started getting hired to do all these different gigs and these different spaces I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know poetry could take me into. And I realized, okay, I have to learn how to connect with this group of people, this group of people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then poetry turned me into like I started doing more of the youth work. And then
Right.
yeah, now you really got to connect with community, and now you got to direct people when you connect with community. Doing projects, now you become a director of some sorts, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
like a maestro orchestrator, so that, and when you're outside doing that, people are seeing you, they're getting more respect for what you do, and then they look at you in a leadership perspective. They look at you as someone, okay, he's trusted, he's been out here doing this work, he's a poet, but now let's pull him into other projects now that impact the community because he has miles, certain mileage on him. He has some miles, some chips in his deck, some cards in his deck. So let's pull him into these different projects. So I just started getting pulled into a lot of projects, and that gave me, I guess, some notoriety and a lot more respect. And then that led to me getting pulled into some arts-based administrative projects because I got the community in mind. And I always try and keep the community in mind everywhere I go.
Mm-hmm.
In all these rooms that I stand in spaces. And it's about pulling the marginalized or the intentional. There's a word I learned, the intentionally marginalized,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
I just intentionally, because it's not enough to say marginalized. It's like I always try and pull in and bring in with me whatever room I'm in, the intentionally marginalized people. You know what I'm saying? And that is kind of, that's kind of how I evolved. It's like I got this gift, it's brought me different places, but I can't just bring myself. I got to bring others or in the space in the room. So that's how I looked at it as a community person or community leader or action leader.
Right.
What's this? I hear of a BET series you were involved in.
Oh man.
Oh, we did real research.
Y'all did y'all research for real, man. Yeah, so shout out to BET, man.
Yeah.
I know, everybody has their different relationships, man, but BET has been very instrumental
Mm.
in providing me credibility to work with youth.
Mm-hmm.
They were the first organ. What did I say? The first major network to stamp me was BET.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So 2015, I was, I had actually been worked with BET before 2015.
Okay.
2010, I was on a show called The Deal. And The Deal was this hip hop show. It kind of took the place of Rap City's The Basement.
Right.
Yes.
And yeah. So
Very, very big. Okay. Yeah.
it took the place of Rap City's The Basement. After shout out to Big Tigger, after Rap City's The Basement ended, The Deal came in and kind of filled that slot. It was supposed to be the next. The host, the Real Memph Hits was the host at the time, and I had performed at a concert in what was this at Bridgeport.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy concert.
Nice.
Crazy concert. The Fresh Fest. Fresh Fest was a dope concert series back in the 80s. They brought it back. And this was huge.
Mm-hmm.
Huge. Big Daddy Kane, MC Light,
Okay.
Slick Rick, Dougie Fresh, Houdini, Nice and Smooth.
That's a list.
Dougie Fresh. I said Dougie already, right?
Yeah. You can say his name again.
When I say Dougie Fresh again, man. Yeah. Dougie Fresh again. Kid and Play too. Kid and Play as well.
Oh, nice.
What?
Yeah. So that I got to, and I was just coming out of college when I literally actually think 3 days before college graduation is when I performed at this concert.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, so I had met this producer, man. Shout out to Jomo Davis, man. The producer was there. He's like, yo, we loved your performance. You killed that. Look, man, we got our cameras right now. I'm filming this docu-series. I'm filming for this video mixtape. Would you like to be on? I was like, oh, say less. Sign the paper, sign the contract, BET right then and there. I said, say less, definitely. Little did I know it was the 30th anniversary of BET that year. So they had the freestyle mixtape special. You know, so that's my beginning of my relationship with BET, and it was dope because I was on there with Rod Digger, Keith Murray, Fabulous, Waka Flocka, Nicki Minaj,
Oh my God.
a whole bunch of artists all across the country, and I was on that. I was like, "What? That's crazy." They aired that, you know. So I kept a relationship with BET as a result of that. And then a couple years later, they had started to bring back. They were trying to fill in the gap. So there was a show on BET before called Teen Summit, right?
I remember Teen
all
Summit.
about the youth. I was doing a lot of, at the time I was doing a lot of work with the youth. So they were trying to bring back. So I heard about this online docu-series, digital series called, and it was ahead of its time. Like I think if they dropped it now, it would be more.
Definitely it'd be more groundbreaking. I totally agree. Totally agree.
Yeah, way more. But it was called What's at Stake. And so I was like, oh shoot. So I emailed my contacts at BET, you know what I'm saying? Did my research, like, oh yeah, I gotta do this. This is dope. So I told them I had worked with BET before. They was like, oh, dope. And I sent them my work that I had been doing with youth. Said, oh yeah, you perfect for this. We're gonna make you a one of our digital correspondents. So
Nice.
you know, started getting into the loop, you know, starting to reporting on what's happening with the youth. It was the intersection of pretty much like what's at stake for the youth. And they had a contest I helped promote online called Creative Artillery, like artillery.
Nice.
And it was about youth and the arts, and it was a contest.
Okay.
So it was dope, man. Unfortunately, you know, as things happen, programming gets shelved, new employees come on, things shift out. So it became short-lived, but for the time I was a part of it, I was grateful. You know what I'm saying? You know, I might have to spin the block and hit them folks back up. They still there. We can do for 2024, 2025. It's probably time. But yeah, shout out to BET, man. Creative Artillery, man. Shout out to BET. What's at stake? I got a lot of love for the network.
That's awesome.
And shout out to you, Frank Brady, on WNHHLP 103.45 FM New Haven. Myself, Preston, Mr. Easy Blues. I never knew that you were born in New York. I thought this whole time you were born in New Haven, Connecticut. That blew my mind a little bit. Like you were you transferred from New York to Connecticut. Now, what was that? Now, what was that whole reason for the transfer? Or for you?
Man. So let me tell you. I had to get out. So the reason for the transfer was my grandparents got older, man, and I was getting in a lot of trouble. I was starting to get into trouble when I was in New York.
Okay.
Getting into issues, man. I left New York because my grandparents, one, they were tired of the cold weather. Two, they didn't like the influence that the environment was having on me. You know, I understand what it is to be a youth in trouble because I was getting in trouble as a youth.
Right.
And so, like, I get it. You know, I even understand deviant behavior. Deviant behavior doesn't start out as I want to be this deviant. It's I'm having fun with my boys. Right. I'm having fun. I'm having fun with my boys, man. I get an adrenaline rush from doing, you know, deviant activities. You know what I'm saying? And the more longer you're around the quote unquote we call outside now, the more and more you're around and you're outside, you just start hanging with people, and it's innocent at first. And then the longer you hang with them, the more, you know, you start to notice things. If you don't leave, you stay around certain people, you notice certain activities and conversations, and then after a while, you cool enough, they ask you to come around them for certain activities and conversations. And the longer you stay around, the more they trust you, the more they pull you in. You know, so for me, it started off what's the first thing I did? I can't remember. Was this prank calling the police?
Oh wow!
I started off prank calling the police when he was younger. Going outside of mischief nights, egging households and stuff. Right? I don't even know if they do mischief night anymore. I don't know if these.
No, I think that's dead.
They do, but they don't. They do, but they don't. It's one of those things of as per having youth out there. It's one of those things that is constantly talked about, and everyone tries to celebrate, and then everyone kind of just like pitters out before it actually happens. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna do this, this, and this, and they're like, it's kind of late, and I kind of need a nap. So it's how things break down. But yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
man. Yeah, no, it's hilarious because I started doing that. And then, you get around. For some reason, I was always the kid that kids wanted to be around and kids was cool with, even then.
Mm.
Right? I guess I had a cool person. I was just a cool person, you know what I'm saying? Somehow, some way, shape, or form. But the neighborhood kids that was quote unquote bad, they like being around me. I wasn't a bad kid either. They just
Mm.
being around me. I don't know what it was. But I remember, a cat that used to come around my way, and yeah, he the one that got me in the prank calling the police. And then I started hanging with the other knuckleheads in the neighborhood, right? And one knuckleheads that came down from Brooklyn. His family had came down and moved into the neighborhood. He was from Brooklyn originally, and he the one that got me into like shoplifting, right? So I was stealing from the local corner store foods and stuff like that, just stealing, shoplifting, right? Just trying to hustle people out of money outside, just stupidity, right?
Yeah.
And then some other people I was hanging around, they got me into stealing bikes, right? So I
Oh.
used to just like stealing bikes and everything like that, right? Stealing bikes. Um, And I remember I had stolen this one bike, and you got this feeling in your gut. Don't do it. But you're doing it anyway. Your people's is pressuring you. Oh, you scared. You soft. You ain't gonna grab that. Grabbed it up, snatched that thing up. Next thing I know, you know what I'm saying? I'm running around outside. I come back in the crib, and my grandmother's visibly shaking. My grandfather's upset. And it's like, yo, this person came here looking for you. Right?
Wow.
And I was like, what? Who's looking for me? It turns out the dude that had stolen his bike, that someone had told him where to find me.
Oh.
Come to find out, this dude was like a 18-year-old gang member. You know what I'm saying? And our grandparents had given him some money, right? Because apparently he was looking for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, that situation, my grandparents was like, that's enough. Because before that, I was just running around outside. Like I said, it starts innocent. I was just running around outside, man. And you just want to be outside with your boys. And that turns into you coming in the house at 12, 11 years old at 10 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Mad late. You just outside. And then your grandfather got to come and get you from the avenue, from outside on the block, from the Ave. Because why you 12, 13, you stay. I'm not even 13 yet. I'm still preteen. Outside late as heck. You know what I'm saying? Just running around with my boys. And again, I play basketball too. So that's the other thing. In New York, man, the basketball lights, the street lights don't go out at 8 o'clock like they do in Connecticut, man. Like from what I've seen, they
All
stay
night?
out. Yeah, they stay out
Yeah.
late. Them lights, playing ball under them lights. So, playing basketball and being outside, you know what I'm saying? That's another thing. You just outside and you with the influences. And again, I was pretty decent at basketball. So I think that's why folks was around me. But yeah, after that happened, man, and dude came to my crib and was threatening me, and my boys was like, "What you gonna do? What you gonna do?" And mind you, I was hanging around, my boy from Brooklyn. His brother was a high-ranking gang member as well,
Mm.
and I was hanging around them. I was around them all the time, um, and it was just like he's cool. Let's keep him around. And then they started saying, "Yo, man, you should think about getting down with us." And so they started grooming me. They started bringing me to their crib, man. Before they what they call a trap house, I was in a trap house before I knew what a trap house was. Because when you're younger, you don't know what this stuff is. You're just around it. It's not until you get older that you know what you was around.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm in there and I see a pot and it's being cooked. It's like you got a mattress in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
It's an empty apartment, pretty much. A mattress. I'll never forget a mattress. You got a stove on the pot. Stove on the pot on the stove. You know what I'm saying? Something is cooking. You know what I mean? Like, and that's all, and it's hazy in there too. All I can remember, and they're like, "Oh, we had just shot these dudes and da 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 da," and I'm like, it's just like I'm not thinking anything of it until I'm hearing other things around the neighborhood about what's happening,
Right.
and I'm like, "Oh shoot, this is what I'm around. Oh, this is crazy." And whoever you hang around, you become connected by association.
It's true. You are your circle.
Even though even though I'm not down, I'm affiliated at this point.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it just started to get difficult. So my grandparents were like, "We don't like this, man. You over here fighting in school. Um, you're getting in trouble." Because at one point I was almost expelled from New York on public schools.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying, for bringing a weapon to school. And I just did that out of defense, really.
Right.
Survival defense. I wasn't no bad kid. I was just acting out of, y'all a little bigger than me, y'all are taller than me, I'm short, I'm a little pudgy, right? Y'all was messing with me. So
Yeah.
all of those things, my grandparents was like, nah, man, we gonna move. It's really like the Fresh Prince, man. You know what I'm saying? I got one little fight, and my mom got scared. So you move with your auntie and uncle and CT. Like that's what it was. That's what it was.
The whole time you're sitting there telling the story, that's all I could think about in my head.
Yeah.
It's trying to figure out a way to make your story fit into the dynamic pentameter of that song, so it could work out well.
That's
I was
exactly
like,
what happened, man. That's what got me out here, man. I came up here to
Right.
Hampton first, and then I went, and then from Hampton I went to New Haven.
Mm. And I
Hampton was
think
a big shot for me.
it definitely a turnaround. It was definitely a turnaround, I bet.
Hated it when I came up here.
Yeah.
I'm glad as everything I did.
Mm. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You mentored Ali Man, who's now Daquan, the rapper.
Ali the man, yes, I did. That's my little brother right there, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's crazy because
yeah,
I started working with youth when I was a youth. So I've always been the young old guy or the old young guy, however you want to put it.
That's a great feeling.
It is a great feeling because the funny thing is, I'm only like, 7 years older than, no, not 7 years. I forgot how old Ali Mon is right now. But I wasn't that older when I was working with him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny to say that he's my mentee, little bro, but we're almost in the same generation. Almost, it's kind of like a interesting space, you know what I'm saying, to be in.
Yeah.
That's why I rock so heavy with him, because when I came in, this is like 2012 when he was in high school, and he was just, he wasn't quiet. He was cool. He was always cool.
He was collected. He was calm. He was calm.
Cool, calm, and collected. Yeah, he's old school, calm, and collected, man. He was really a beast on the camera too.
Right.
You know what I mean? And my program I was rocking at the time, the nonprofit, the Future Project, he became a part of that. I was at Wilbur Cross. That's when they put me in the belly of the beast, what they called it back then. Superintendent of public schools was like, "You really want to go in here?" Just he brought me. I was like, "Yeah, man. I feel like this is my movie moment." You know what I'm saying? Right. And it really was. Shoot, that first year was crazy. But we shook a lot of stuff up that first year. And Ali Man was a part of that, my leadership on that. And, because he was so dope, man, I just kind of poured into him. We saw he was talented. I still came from, I had left entertainment at that time to get into education, interestingly enough.
Right.
So I still had that energy though, the entertainment energy. And that's how I learned I could fuse it with the work I'm doing with youth. And Ali Man was like, he was rapping and he was awesome, but he was more video that time, right? So
still does video, which is crazy.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he beats on the video. So I just kind of pushed him into his rap, and he was producing too. We actually, funny thing is, he'll remember this, man. We turned during the lunchtime period, Ali Man, we created a lunchtime studio session. It was so lit, man. Ali, he brought his equipment. You know what I'm saying? I got the permission. I was dealing with the red tape, so I got the permission from the admin. I was like, "Yo, we're gonna be right across the lunchroom from the lunchroom, right?" And we turned this backstage theater room into a recording studio, and it was just crazy. The energy, the young dudes, they loved it. That's probably one of my favorite prizes when I think about it, man. Because again, man, they said, "Yo, the hallways was a little more clearer." The lunchrooms weren't as wild because we gave the kids an outlet. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That they actually connected with, that they were actually passionate about. So yeah, Ali Man, man, just watching him grow over the years has been a blessing, and grow into his own as an artist.
Yeah. Especially as a human being too.
Yeah, and as a human being, man.
Beyond 10 years, that's wild.
Yeah,
wild.
I've known him for like 12 years now, and he's just been thorough the whole time. And I threw a lot of opportunities his way. I believe that you can't say that you invest in youth if you don't invest in youth.
That's true.
Right.
So it's like I put money in his pockets. Like he became my digital assistant. Like, we were paying him to do videos. You know what I'm saying? And I'm proud of him for his growth when it comes to that, man. And I remember when we brought him back to the school to perform in my city. They don't show no love. That's, what I'm saying. We brought him back to
Yeah.
do that to the school, man. When he started to pop. So shout out to Aliman, man. Daquan, man. That's my guy right there.
Now, with all the opportunities and just networking just throughout, a career that you just made for yourself, how were you part of that foundation with ConCat? Because ConCat has been around for a long time, but not a long time.
Yeah. I was the first staff there, man.
Mm.
I was the first staff there. I was the first staff there, and it's an emotional thing because that staff was special, man. That staff was special, man. We had some amazing people on that staff, man. My brother Cody Norris, aka Leviticus, my sister Andy Abil. Jeez, man, it was a dope time, bro. Like, oh my gosh, it was a dope time. Like, I'm reminiscing on how it was like the Avengers. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Alita Staten, man. All right, rest in peace to Miss
Yeah.
Alita Staten, man. She was part of that staff as well. Nikki Claxton, just amazing staff, and we were under a lot of pressure to produce something, amazing with these youth in the summertime. Because shout out to Eric Clemens, man, the leadership of Eric Clemens. We were under a lot of pressure to produce something because they were like, it's the first off.
Yeah.
And we created something amazing with those youth, man. And it moves me emotionally to think about it because thinking about where those youth are now is amazing. One of the young guys, Daniel Hunt, he's a leader over there now. That young man almost got kicked out of the program. Yo, Danny used to work my nerves. But you know what I'm saying? Like the ones that work your nerves the most, when if you shift their potential,
Yeah.
they the leaders of tomorrow. Look, quote this: the knuckleheads of the day can be the leaders of tomorrow.
Yes,
that's true. Everybody can turn around. Everybody's possible doing that.
Man. Malcolm X energy. The knuckleheads of today can be the leaders of tomorrow. And Danny was.
That's the title of the book.
But
that's what I'm saying. That's the title of the book.
The knuckleheads of the day can be the leaders of tomorrow.
There you go.
For real, man, because that's, he turned it around, man, and now he's leading the program. But I'm so proud of him. But ConCat, man, that was an influential time in my life because I was pulling double duty. So I had the opportunity at the same time I was working with ConCat, I literally had the opportunity to be working with the Winchester Revitalization Art Project, the RAP project. And shout out to New Haven on Cultural Affairs, Arts and Culture and Tourism. It was a program that was aimed at impacting Winchester Avenue because during this time, there was a lot of violence on that street on Winchester Ave. And we were right outside in this empty lot that now they got houses in across from the Tourist Cafe. And we were doing music, we were doing art, you know what I'm saying? We were just engaging the community, trying to give some activities. We had young kids out there, some young boys come out there every once in a while. And it got to the point where we were going, like, I would go door to door, knocking on the doors. Yo, what do y'all actually need? We doing this work out here, but I just want to introduce myself. It's my name. Doing this, we're gonna do it out here. Blah, 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 this, that, and the third. And this is a beautiful time, man. Shout out to Gerald Moore. Shout out to my brother Steve Driffin. We actually did street theater out there too. Right outside the police substation, man. We did street theater out there. A play called Posthumous that mirrored the issues that was going on in the community. There's a clip online of me doing a poem, and it still is like probably one of my most endearing moments. Couple clips, man. That was Frankie with the dreads. I was outside that time. Frank with the dreads in a black hoodie. Let's start there.
Black
hoodie, man. That was
black hoodie.
Had to channel some different energy for that to really reach the community. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that Concat time was a special time in my life.
That's awesome. That is awesome, bro. That really is. Now, was your mom your biggest inspiration? Because like she was a poet, I'm hearing.
Preston, do your research for real. This is probably the best interview I've had. I really did got research. I'm learning. Yeah, my mother, man, to this
Yeah.
day, my mother is an amazing poet.
Mm,
Well, the world will hear from her again soon because I'm gonna be focusing in on her in a couple months. But Louise May Brady is an amazing poet.
awesome.
You know, growing up watching her, she actually got awards from the National Library of Poetry in 1999. You know, so that's how prolific she is as a writer. And her work, you know, very faith-based, spiritual, but inspirational, impactful, man. So, you know, a lot of that kind of like, you know, I absorbed a lot of that. She has volumes upon, if you're talking about the lost tapes, the Nas had the lost tapes. My mother got archives and archives and archives that the world just needs to hear and read, you know, and I think that's what that it's that same thing is transferred to my sister. My sister's a writer as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, you know, it's one of the gifts our mother gave us, you know what I'm saying, that transferred to us. You know, when again, your environment, man, was just my mother's always done that, and it made us very expressive as a result. You know what I'm saying? Like, beautiful thing, man. My mother, yeah, a dope poet. Her poem Pick Up the Power Within You. I hang it over my bed to this day. You know what I'm saying? Um, big meaning to me. My mother, again, always writing, always, yeah. Love my mom's, man. She is everything to me.
Word. You feel like you're carrying on her legacy in the right way, or you feel you haven't done enough with everything you've done?
You know, it's both. I feel like I'm carrying her legacy in the right way, but I haven't done enough. I haven't published a book. That's what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? That's what here's the funny thing, right? And I haven't published a book yet because I've been such an action dude. I've been a stage dude. I've been,
Right.
you know, so I got the material for it. I just haven't done it.
Mhm.
I think the reason I hadn't done it for a while is just because it was hard for me to, and this gonna sound weird, right? Not pigeonhole myself, but just because I evolved so much, right? It was hard for me to write a poetry book because I started doing so many other things.
Right.
So being talented is a gift and a double-edged sword
Mm,
because it's like what
Mhm.
you focus in on at certain times. When you gifted in multiple areas, you can do multiple things at a high level. Thing is
Right.
sometimes focus in on. So that's what that is. But we
Right.
working.
It'll happen. It'll happen. I was also going to say, maybe a band camp. Putting up a live reading of that poetry book on there as well. I mean, there's a lot we could talk. Like, you want to talk about merchandising and marketing, sir? We can have a conversation.
Word,
You
I'm
know
with
what
it.
I'm
I'm with
saying?
it.
I'm down for like days of wisdom, 365-day calendar.
Yeah,
Just pull
yeah.
a thing off, and you have some sort of Frank Brady quote.
Oh,
I'm just,
word.
just put it out there. These merchandising is where the real money from the movie is made, sir. I'm just being real.
Yo, nah, I need to have that merchandising. It's time actually, man. It's time. Everything is pointing to you got to create your merch, man. I've just been such a servant for years and a giver that I've never created like that for myself. So I'm in that season where it's like, all right, slow down and create, bro. You got almost 20 years in this.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about it. Like you
mhm.
saying, but yeah, almost 20 years in this thing. It's crazy.
Another good turnaround thing for you as well. It's a quick turnaround in these rubber bracelets.
Yes.
Quick turn.
Actually got one right here, man. I haven't there's a story why I haven't created them in a while, but I got one right here, man. It says
Yeah.
words were made to inspire. Um
Mm-hmm.
FrankEBrady.com. So funny story on this, right? Quick story on this. I got these because I was signed to a agency years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And my agent at the time, my man David Ugar, my agent at the time said, "You need merchandise." I was doing college tours. That's another part of my life. I did college tours for a couple of years.
Oh
As a poet.
wow.
Yeah, I would tour the country doing poetry.
Mm-hmm.
My last tour, my illest tour, man, HOH Hooked on Hope tour, 2018 Hooked on Hope tour, New York, Miami, Atlanta, Pennsylvania, upstate New York, Niagara.
And WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Preston, Mr. EZ Blues. Frankie Brady continues soon.
Knife, like a knife.
Yeah. It was a tour, man. I did this ill tour, man, and so I needed to have this merchandise. So that's what the tour was about. You know, that's what pushed me to get the merch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that was dope. So yeah, I gotta spend back on that. I gotta order some more of these. In fact.
Now, what you really want to do, because here's where things get crazy. Do like a haiku, like a 4-line poem, and have 4 different bracelets. So each line can stand on its own as its own poem, but when all 4 bracelets are put together, they have the entire poem.
Oh, that's fire.
You know, like I said, I know what I'm talking about marketing.
That's fire. That's fire for real, for real.
Yeah. Plus, it's a challenge to the artist to make each line strong enough that it stands on its own. But then when it comes together, it creates the Voltron of poems, and you know, takes down whatever evil is out there.
I like that. That's fire. I mean, you have to talk some more, easy.
Okay. I'm not going to turn down that phone call. Are you kidding me?
For sure, definitely.
How fire was it being nominated Youth Speaker of the Year by Black Enterprise?
So interesting. That was, man. So it's interesting, right? Because there's 2 parts to that, right? So the Youth Speaker of the Year part was actually for what was the organization? Jeez, SpeakerCon.
SpeakerCon, okay.
And then the award from Black Enterprise was Man of the Year.
Oh, even better.
Yeah. So the SpeakerCon, man, I was nominated by this. Shout out to Cheryl Wood, man. Amazing speaker, probably like one of the greatest female speakers of this generation. And she had launched this just organization, this celebration of speakers from all across the country. And I was privileged to be nominated as Youth Speaker of the Year in 2019, I believe it was. So I got to go out to Crystal City, Virginia. It was real dope. I didn't win, but the young lady, Lenita Hassan, that won, she deserved it. You know, we still cool to this day, man. She deserved it. That was my co-nominee, and she did her thing. I'm happy for her. Still keep in contact with her. But I was just grateful for the nomination, and the Black Enterprise piece, man. I have a amazing relationship with Black Enterprise. They nominated me as their Man of the Year. Well, they gave me their Man of the Year award. 2018, I believe it was. Yeah. 2018, Black Enterprise Modern Man of the Year award. They had this program, BE Modern Man, profiled 100 Black men across the country in different industries impacting communities. So of that BE 100, they gave me the Man of the Year award, man, which was a life-changing milestone for me. Just based on the work I've done in New Haven and nationally, but specifically the youth work in New Haven.
What have been some of your favorite events to MC?
Man, so I'm gonna start with what I recently did, just because that was shout out to my homie Low, DJ Too Much, man. I got the chance to go to my homie Too Much. She pulled your boy along, man. She brought your boy along. Shout out to Too Much, man. The New York City Wine and Food Festival.
That's awesome.
What?
That's awesome.
Yeah, closing celebration on Chef JJ's Hip Hop Cookout in Brooklyn. That was because I was with my homie, man. I was with Low, man. I was with my homie. And you know what I'm saying? Shout out to her for that. And we got to light it up, bro. The energy was hundreds of people out there, and it got into the thousands, I believe. It was nuts. I just let go and let it loose, and we had a ball. I even freaking did a side handstand off stage into the audience, which is crazy.
What?
Oh man, yeah. Nah, and it was lit because that event, the bill was packed. So you gotta understand that bill was just packed, bro. Like after we finished, Angela Yee came on, Freeway.
Oh wow.
Came on, and we was on stage with him. He was on that bill with Angela Yee, Freeway. Then after that, Rev Run.
What?
Kid Capri closed out. I mean, that was that became my, because
I feel like I'm there.
yeah, the energy was crazy, man. And just to be able to see, you like, yo, you worked hard and now you're working with, you can say that, you know what I'm saying, in a sense, the people that you've looked up to are your peers for a moment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we have the same technical folks we working with. We do the same mics, the same riders,
Yeah.
same stage. Oh my gosh, what?
Yeah. When you get to stand shoulder to shoulder with your idols, it's
Yeah,
really, really interesting.
Man,
it's
bro.
mind blowing and groundbreaking
It's
too.
mind blowing, man. Freeway was so cool. His manager cool. You know what I'm saying? Mano was back there. Shout out to Mano. I still turn up to. I think I might give away $1,000,000. And just to chop it up with him, even though briefly, because when you backstage in them spaces, they just celebrities, folks they just want to be regular people, yo. They
Yeah,
don't want all
absolutely.
they don't want all the fanfare.
No.
I just dapped up Mano, a salute legend, boom, kept it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of
Kept it
course.
light. Same thing with Angela. Kept it light, man, because they just want to be regular people. And I think that's how when you see them next time, they be like, "Oh, what's up? I remember you from last time. What's up?" Because you're not all on them for every second. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no,
You
not at
want to
all.
chill. So
Not at all.
that was my favorite, man. My homie Too Much, man. That's the homie for real. Shout out to her for bringing me along. That was my favorite event. Like, just because the energy, the opportunity. That, and then outside of that, favorite events, man. Wind down CT, love wind down. I enjoy myself every time I'm doing wind down. Changes in the air, see the park changes in the air because
Yep.
I love the social action, the social consciousness of it, man.
Mhm.
Maul and Gina, good brothers, man, for real. So I rock with the founders. That's another one of the favorite events to MC. And then just I think, anytime I get to touch a mic, man, it's been a dope journey because I didn't set out to be an MC. Um, but what I think made MC a lot easier for me is because I've been an artist for so many years. So
Hmm.
I can bring that art, I bring that artist energy as a performance when I'm MCing. That's why people always they say, above all else, Frank, it's your energy that we
Mhm.
rock with. Like your
Yeah.
energy. Like it's something about your energy. So I do the same thing, whether it's 20 or 200. Like I'm gonna get that same energy. You got to feel like a concert. Like we in a live concert. Hmm.
And I'm enjoying the energy of this conversation, but unfortunately, it has to come to an end. We
Yeah.
love to give these last couple minutes to our guests. Any inspirational, positive words in your back catalog? Because I know you have so much knowledge in your brain. Please give us for these last minutes of the broadcast. And lastly, we always want people to plug their social media, where to reach them, and anything you got coming up. So this time is yours.
Yeah. So you can hit me on www.frankebrady.com. Hit me on Instagram at Frank E Brady, not Frank E like the Frank E like the Y, or Frank letter E and Brady, because people get that confused sometimes. They put the I in there. No, it's FrankEBrady, right? On Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, cross branding, all the same thing. You know, if I could leave everybody with this, I just leave it like this, man. Like, life is difficult. It's tough. Everybody is going through something. You never know the trials, tribulations, the heartache, the pain that someone is dealing with. So be mindful of that in how you're speaking to people. I always say that everybody in life is on a ledge or close to a ledge, proverbially, right? And some people at different stages in their life, they're going to be at different distances from the ledge. You might be across the street when you're doing really good. You know what I'm saying? You might be 10 feet from the ledge if life is getting pressured. You might be hanging off the ledge at one point, just trying to hang on, right? Be mindful and speak to everybody, what I'm saying, with love and appreciation and consideration. I try not to take things personal because I don't know what's going on with someone's life. So I
It's
give
true.
people grace and the benefit of the doubt because I know life is real and people walk around with smiles, but they can be dealing with a lot inside. So be empathetic, be loving, and being kind to people, man. I deal with people literally like they got an invisible handle with care sign on their foreheads.
Mm.
Handle people with care, man, because you just never know what people dealing with.
True.
And you could be the hand that either pushes them over the ledge or pulls them from the ledge. And that's what I want to leave folks with, man. Be the hand that pulls them, not pushes them.
All right.
Frank, Thank you for this amazing conversation. We do appreciate this. And anytime you just want to just ramble and rant, we're all for it. We really are.
So,
Thank you so
God
much.
bless y'all, man. Thank you for having me. It's one of the best interviews I've ever had. For real. That's love.
All we can do is try our best. Myself, Preston, and my partner in crime, Long Island Rays, Elm City made, Mr. EZ Blues. 103.5 FM New Haven. We appreciate everybody. Thank you so much.
Wondering what to write about, trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist, am I worth anything or just a scout? I don't know.